What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Married to Medicine, season 9 reunion part 1. So y'all know I'm big on the fashions, but I can only give y'all my opinion. And it's supposed to be like a Vegas theme because remember that's the trip they took this year. I'm gonna be honest and tell you that from a sitting position, because I have not gone into all of the, from a sitting position. Well, I have looked at them, but anyway, from a sitting position, I think my favorite was probably Heavenly's. I didn't like Heavenly's hair though. Her hair wasn't my favorite. My least favorite was probably Contessa's. I didn't like nothing about Contessa's look. I didn't like the hair. I didn't like that big hair piece. I didn't like her makeup. I didn't like that dress. Contessa, you got the baddest body of anybody on that stage, okay? You won a whole fitness competition, okay? Your body should have been snatched. I mean, your dress should have been snatched, okay? It should have been boom, boom, bam. And I just, it wasn't giving that for me. Quad and Simone were giving me can like old Hollywood, with the frills and thrills. Dr. Jackie, I ain't seen nothing Vegas about it. I said old Hollywood, I meant old Vegas. I ain't really see nothing Vegas about it, but it's Jackie, so of course it was classy based, Anila's was cute, I didn't like Toya's at all. I didn't think Toya's match. You know what? I take that back. I think Toya was worst dressed for me. I didn't like nothing about Toya's look either. Anyway, again, just my opinion. Y'all know I'm no fashionista. It's just what I saw, what I like. I ain't, I don't know what fashion house it came from and all of that. I just know what I like when I see it. Moving on. Who was my favorite hair? Maybe Simone's. Anyway, but nobody's hair wowed me. I didn't like Quad's hair at all. I feel like Quad's hair was a throwback to season 1 Quad, season 2 Quad. I didn't like it. Moving on. Quad has had some beautiful wigs and hair pieces and stuff, and that just wasn't one of them for me. So we start off with Quad's package, and we're talking about Quad and her mom and Mason living with her. They talked about what adjustments she had to make, that Mason was living with her, and she was like, well, Andy, I can adjust to just about anything. Girl, Quad, why do you take everything as a personal attack or an affront that you feel like you have to defend yourself against? Nobody is questioning whether you did a good job. Nobody is questioning whether you could adjust or not. But anybody, I live by myself, and when my niece, who was still grown, had to quarantine with me during the Panorama, it was an adjustment for me, and I'm grown, okay? So, I'm saying she's grown. I can't imagine, having to worry about now you got to pick up and drop off at school and homework and permission slips and food and, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, but whatever, child. The big conversation, though, ultimately was about her house and whether she could afford it and how she could afford it. Now, Simone, listen, let me tell you something. I find it very interesting that y'all spent a lot of money trying to figure out this woman's finances. When she was living in this quote-unquote bullshit-ass apartment, nobody had a problem with that, which, honestly, I think that was just as impressive. This woman lived in a 4-story townhouse I think it was a gated community with a whole elevator in it. I have a friend right now that lives in I think it's a 5-story townhouse. It's not a gated community with an elevator, and it's $1 million home. So y'all are acting like the fact that she's moved into a $2 million home was such a step up from where she was already living. Now, the question is, does Quad need a $2 million home? Well, a lot of people don't need what they have, but if they can afford it, then that's what they want. But I'm just not understanding why people like Dr. Simone, who I'm sure you would have a problem if people spend that much money on your finances. Now, I know we spend a lot of money on Toya's finances, but that's because Toya puts us in her finances, because Toya's finances keep getting fucked up. Okay? Nobody would care about Toya's house and how big it is and how many times she moved if she wasn't moving because they kept screwing up their money. If they were moving because they just like to move from house to house to house because that's just the type of people they are, because those same friends that I just told y'all about, probably in the time that I've known them, they have probably moved 5 or 6 times. So nobody questioned, but none of my friend group questions whether they can afford it or not, because it ain't never been an issue. They ain't never came to me and borrowed no money. So I just enjoy the being there, hanging out, and the opulence of it all. You understand what I'm saying? So I just feel like, y'all questioning Quad. I feel some kind of way about it. Like, it's as a single woman. Now, what we done found out is, allegedly, all this allegedly, when she was with Dr. Greg, she didn't pay no bills. So everything she made belonged to her. Now, when she met Dr. Greg, she had a job. Now, it might not have been $1 million job, but she had a job. So that paycheck, whether it was a six figure of whether it was $50,000 or $150,000, it went in the bank or whatever she chose to do with it. When she worked on this show, again, I'm sure her paycheck the first couple of seasons wasn't all that complicated. But she got things out of it. I mean, people, listen. She said she saved well, she invested, and she got the money. She can afford it. I just feel like that's the end of the conversation. Toya talking about, so Andy going to ask Toya, because, of course, when it comes to houses, Toya's, and she going to say, well, I don't go into other people's homes worried about what other people have. Toya, you a lie. You are a whole lie. You had a whole fight with Dr. Heavenly at her house, and the first thing you did was attack her house. You talked about how old it was, and she needed to do this, and she needed to do that, and how dated everything was. You literally, that is where you went. When you decided, when you and Dr. Heavenly got into that argument, the first place you went was her house. So don't tell me you don't pay attention to what other people have. Dr. Heavenly got a 2-story closet, and what was the main thing that Toya wanted in her house? A 2-story closet, right? She even changed the floor plan and made her wine cellar smaller so she could have a 2-story damn closet. Girl, don't tell me you don't pay attention to what other people have, because that's a lie. Moving on. Then, I guess because Toya gets sick of people talking about... So then I guess Toya got sick of people talking about how she don't work and she don't have no money or whatever. She starts producing paychecks from that wine club that she's a part of, that she advertises for, and I guess something else. And them paychecks was $6,000. Toya. First of all, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody. The fact you are working because you are on Married to Medicine. And right now, from what I heard, your paycheck is more than your husband's. And we know your husband make good money. Okay? Your paycheck is more than your husband. So you ain't got to prove nothing to these ladies as far as you having a job and you bringing in money. But what you don't need to do ever again in your life is bring them $6,000 paychecks thinking you impressing somebody. She's talking about something. That's what I make a month. Ma'am, do you understand that that's probably what Dr. Jackie pulling a week, a day, maybe even? Like... Dr. Heavenly, I can't speak for Dr. Contessa, child. Simone, like, that's $6,000 a month. Now, $6,000 a month for me? Oh, I'm like, yes, girl, do that. If I had a friend coming to me talking about something, yeah, in my side job, I'm making $12,000 a month on my side hustles. Oh, I'm impressed. But you in the wrong room for that. And it didn't land well. So then we got to talking about Quad and whether she's sleeping with her contractor or not. Now listen. Again, do I think Quad sleeping with this man? I honestly don't. Quad brought up a good point. Quad was like, listen, I done spent $150,000 renovating this house. Well, I done paid this man $150,000 for all the work he did on my house. Do you really think I'm paying and giving up the coochie? No, ma'am. Now, come to find out, the man is married and he's friends, and his wife is friends with Contessa and friends with Simone. So they really don't appreciate the fact that it's being drugged through the mud, his relationship, and all that stuff. And so Quad went and got a lie detector test. Now, let me be honest with you. Listen, again, the days of a lie detector test meaning anything, even on a reality show, first of all, you ain't the first to do it. So it's not... You're not the first to do it, okay? I just don't think that it landed well. I don't think anybody cares, and I don't really think it proves anything. Not because I think that Quad is some major mastermind and she knows how to trick a lie detector test, just because I just don't think nobody care. Anyway, so then we get to Dr. Heavenly. Of course, the big thing with Dr. Heavenly is the YouTube channel and her relationship with the ladies. Again, I feel like we've been talking about that all season. I just don't have anything more to give to it. Dr. Heavenly, at a certain point, well, I ain't even gonna say at a certain point. I feel like you already have. You've already made a decision that you really don't care about these women enough to care about their feelings, and you're gonna continue to do your YouTube channel and give your opinion. Now, in your mind, you feel like you're only speaking on what's already on the show, and you're just adding your opinion to it. Again, if that's how you feel, girl, I can't tell you feel no different. If you like it, I love it, and at this point, it just is what it is. Of course, the contestant thing came up. She apologized to Quad for the things that she had said about Quad she said, I don't think that Quad is sleeping with a married man. I don't think Toya cheated on her husband. Like, she was very clear to say those things. And Quad told her, she said, at some point you're going to have to understand that if you really value these friendships, then you're going to have to stop doing the things you do. The thing that bothers me the most about Dr. Heavenly is Dr. Heavenly will apologize, and then she'll take the apology back, or she'll turn around and do the exact same thing. I don't want your apology if you don't mean it. She'll say, well, I only apologize because daddy told me to. Well, don't apologize to me because somebody made you. I don't want to hear it. Keep your apology. They talked about her mom passing away, and Dr. Jackie says she's not grieving. And I agree. I don't think she is grieving, because she keeps talking about how she don't want to talk about it. She keeps talking about how she's okay and she don't like to cry. And everybody doesn't have to cry to grieve. Let's be clear. Everybody don't have to cry to grieve. I get that. But I do not think that Heavenly is fully processing, and everybody's process is different, but I think maybe she should get into counseling. Maybe she'll be able to process with somebody who can talk her through her feelings, because she's the type of person that does not express her feelings and doesn't let her feelings out, because she was taught that emotions make you weak. Or at least, I'm not saying that her mother taught her that. I'm saying in her life experiences, she was taught that emotions make you weak. And so she does not, she just doesn't process that way. The other thing I'm going to say is this. She's been putting a lot of vlogging and a lot of vlogs. I know she's got Oliver, my baby Oliver, helping her. He's her social media manager, and they've been doing a lot of vlogging. Maybe she's going to move away from the Married to Medicine stuff. I mean, the season is over. A lot can happen in the 6, 7, 8 months, between seasons for them. Maybe by next season, this won't be her moneymaker. This won't be her main focus. And she'll be over talking about it. Maybe, child. Maybe. They talked about Quad not being able to take a joke. She can't. Moving on. Anila. So, first of all, Anila, you lying. You are lying about getting all that furniture for the vlog, and everybody has said that you're lying. And what made it even worse is that they done pulled the receipts, and they done found out that you only have, 50,000 followers. Girl, bye. Or whatever the number was they said. And that you don't even update it regularly. Girl, no, ma'am. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. People who you tell me you got $500,000 worth of furniture for your home, and you don't even vlog every day. Girl, that's not how this works. People from Funky Dineva on down have been like, no, ma'am. Dr. Heavenly, who has over 100,000 followers on YouTube, was like, no, I don't get those kind of. No, ma'am. Like, that's just not how this works. I'm sorry. That's just not how this works, girl. Anyway, so just try, you might have gotten some pieces, but you did not furnish your whole home off of vlogging. You didn't. You just didn't. You didn't. They talked about her mother being around and how there are times when they just feel like it's inappropriate for her mother to be around. Listen, that just is what it is. Like your mama don't need to be there for everything. She just don't. And it's cool to have her around for certain things, family functions, cookouts, parties, dinners. But when y'all went up to Dr. Jackie's office to get that old shop, girl, what made you think that was a good idea? You know your mama. See, that's the thing. You know your mama. What made you think that was a good idea? I wouldn't even want. And me and my mama cool. And I probably, if I was on a show like this, my mama would probably be with me a lot. Not a lot like that, but I mean, if we were having a cookout, a dinner, my family would be around, whatever, but oh, shot. Girl, bye. No, ma'am. But my mama would know when to exit. My mama would not. That's not something she would even want to come to. When I told her what it was, she'd be like, "Girl, y'all good? Y'all got that?" No. Um. Then of course we had to talk about the break-in. Girl, come to find out, her house has been broken into a second time. Her house is the only house in the neighborhood that has been broken into twice. Well, once. Nobody else in that neighborhood's house has even been broken into once. Now you mean to tell me they came back again? They cleared it up and said that her burglaries are not connected to the string of burglaries that they arrested the people down to Atlanta a couple of months ago for. So that's not connected to Marlo Hampton and all that. It's not connected. This was what I'm going to say. This is what I'm going to say. When you say, well, Toya said you got into the fight with Toya. Toya's friend tried to beat you up down the Quad's Christmas party. 2 days later, Toya says there's a hit out for Anila, and then Anila's house gets robbed on the same night that Toya had a party at her house where people were coming in and out the gates. I'm not saying Toya did it. I'm not even saying Toya had anything to do with it. But it is very coincidental, and all those things are not a good look. I would never make that serious of an accusation against somebody, though, if I did not have proof. That is a very serious. You're accusing this woman of a crime, a felony, because I'm sure with all the things that were stolen, the monetary value of it puts it probably even on the federal level. I don't know. I'm not no attorney. I don't know, but I know it's definitely a felony with the dollar amount of what was stolen. And it's not a good look. Do I think Anila staged it? Absolutely not. There's no parts of me that thought that Anila staged her own break-in. And she certainly wouldn't be dumb enough to do it a second time. Like, duh. They got into a back and forth about whether Toya did it, whether Toya knew about it. And it basically was team A, team B. Like either you were on Anila's team or you were on Toya's team. And that's pretty much how the lines were drawn. I will say that Toya and Quad Child, they done got into it, went back and forth. Because, of course, Quad is very firmly on, team Anila. And Anila done messed around and she done took a lie detector test. Child, it didn't work for Quad. I don't know why you thought it was going to work for you. It was just stupid, unnecessary, and dumb. That's just how I feel about it, honestly. Now, Simone interjected herself into it. Quad interjected herself into it. And like I said, you could just clearly see where the lines have been drawn. Now, Contessa interjected herself, and I thought she said something that was very crass and very unnecessary. She's going to talk about, well, I was at Toya's party. Are you going to accuse me of doing it? I mean, are you going to accuse me of being part of it? Oh, I guess this hairpiece is the leftover spoils from the robbery. Girl, that's not funny. That's not funny. I didn't think it was funny. Anyway, moving on. Contessa really ain't have a whole lot to say except for throwing jabs back and forth with Heavenly Child. Being real. So I guess when we get to her package, we'll get into a whole lot with that. But that's pretty much the first episode, child. We'll see what the ladies is talking about next week. I think they just have a two-parter. The guys are next week, and then I guess we'll do Jackie, Simone, and Contessa's package next week. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.